I'm going to be taking this Dell Optiplex 7010 and turning it into a budget gaming PC. Here are the current specs. For now, I'll be booting off this 330GB hard drive, but I will be replacing it with a Crucial BX500 240GB SSD. Then I'll be swapping the i3 out for an i7. I'll also be replacing my 4GB of RAM for 4 8GB sticks. I'm adding a NVIDIA RTX graphics card from my hairstylist James. I was also given a PSU of James for the graphics card and the increased power it will be using. And I bought an all-in-one water cooling system. Then my RGB dark mirror tower unit, RGB graphics card holder, and then lastly my RGB RAM heatsink. Okay, here's the boot on my normal Seagate hard drive.
Fuck. How did you fuck that up so hard? I don't know.
Two minutes and 13 seconds. That's pretty sad. Anyway, now we're going to be trying to load up an app. Now we're going to be testing the boot and loading up an app with the new Crucial SSD. Now I'm taking out the i3 processor and putting in the i7. Now I'm swapping out the RAM sticks, taking out the 4GB, then adding the 32. I was unsure if it was going to max out at 16 gigs, but it registered 24. I had to leave one dodgy one out and wait for a new one. And then I started to strip the PC so that I could take the motherboard out and started disconnecting all the other little bits too. Then whilst the board was out, I decided to fit my pump. I had to trim the bracket off because it got in the way too much. Chopped it and put it back on. I used my Arctic thermal paste and installed my pump. Then I quickly installed my I/O shield and SSD, placed in my motherboard, screwed it down and added my front panel header adapter so it would work with my Dell motherboard. Then I nicely installed my radiator. And it turns out I couldn't put the fan in because it would interfere with the RAM, so I had no other option than to put it on the outside of my case. Just kidding, it's on the back. Now it was time for me to put the RGB heat sinks on all 4 RAM sticks. I went and installed my front panel switches and my case thermo resistor thingy because I didn't want any errors coming up, along with my internal speaker and my USB 3 connector. I then used my 5-pin to 4-pin Dell adapter for my cooler. Then installed my power unit. I also installed my RGB controller. Installed all 4 RAM sticks. I was testing those bits worked. I needed a new CMOS battery, had to wait, but now all the RAM sticks are working. I tried mounting the graphics card the conventional way, but I didn't think there was enough space for cooling, so I bought a vertical graphics card mount, then cut the back to fit it. Wired it all in. Not gonna lie, swapped my front 3 fans and the fans on top so that I could connect them all to the controller so they'd all be in sync colour wise. There we go, that's my PC. I made this video just so I could introduce my gaming channel at Charlotte Core, so make sure you go and sub to that channel too.